Hi, I'm Jess Larson and welcome to Plays Well with Butter. Today we're going to be making spicy Italian sausage and peppers pasta. This is a dish that tastes like slowly simmered, restaurant-worthy Italian goodness, but it only takes 30 minutes to come together, start to finish. It's one of my all-time favorites and I'm so excited to share it with you. We're just gonna start by chopping up our bell pepper and our onion. These are the key veggies in the quick, spicy Italian sausage and peppers pasta sauce that we're gonna be making on the stovetop in a minute. The size of your dice doesn't matter, but what is most important is to try to aim for all of the pieces and all of the veggies to be uniform in size. That way they cook really evenly in the pot and you don't end up with burnt onions and raw peppers, for example. So the thing with this dish is you can use any Italian sausage you love. The one thing that I do recommend with this recipe in particular is since we're after that like rich, slowly simmered Italian flavor, you really want to use full fat pork sausage here. You always want to cook pasta in a generous amount of boiling, well-salted water. I'm just going to add in more salt than you think you need right into the pot and let it come back up to a boil. And then we're gonna be adding in our rigatoni. And once the water comes back up to a boil, we're just gonna add the pasta. So while our pasta is cooking, we're gonna get started on our spicy Italian sausage and peppers sauce. So we've just heated some olive oil and we're just adding in our beautiful aromatics, the onion and the bell pepper. And we're just gonna let these soften up. For a dish like this, we want to salt as we build those flavors. The salt is going to pull the natural moisture out of those veggies as they cook, making them even more sweet and flavorful. That's exactly what we're after here. And as these have the chance to soften up a little bit, just a minute or two, you can add the sausage right into the skillet as well. Everything cooks up together and the heat is going to melt all of the glorious natural richness from the sausage into the sauce, and that's when it's gonna make your kitchen smell like heaven. So I'm just giving these a flip and then we'll just use the back of our spoon to crumble it up into bite-sized pieces and let it cook even faster. Now's when we get to have fun with adding the aromatics and building our pasta sauce. So first in, we're going to add some garlic. Chopping garlic is one of my least favorite kitchen tasks. So I just use a handy dandy microplane. It grates it up real fine and it kind of melts away into the sauce, which is really nice. At this point, we'll also add in a big pinch of crushed red pepper flake and we're building big flavor. We're gonna add in a generous amount of tomato paste. All of that rich concentrated tomato flavor is what's going to make this super rich and taste like it has simmered for hours. And I'm just gonna give it a stir so it kind of starts to coat. By browning it, we're cooking off that sort of like tinned, super concentrated flavor, and it just kind of melts away and transforms into rich tomato goodness. We are going to deglaze with some wine. A box of wine is one of my favorite weeknight cooking secrets because the wine inside the box is in a plastic bag, it is sealed, and it doesn't oxidize as quickly as a bottle of wine. So sometimes during a weeknight you don't want to open a bottle of wine just to get a half a cup of wine for a recipe, but you don't want to miss out on the flavor that wine adds to a recipe. So now what we're going to do, we're going to pour the wine in the pan and use a spoon to scrape up any bits that have formed on the bottom of the pan. This process is called deglazing. That is rich flavor that's developed, and we want every last bit of it for our pasta sauce. At this point, we're gonna bulk up our sauce with some crushed tomatoes. You're gonna need about 14 ounces, so that's half of this can. If you like a chunkier sauce, you could also use diced tomatoes. And then the last thing we're gonna add some grated Parmesan cheese or Pecorino Romano cheese. Dealer's choice. This can simmer a couple of minutes. We just want to cook that kind of like canned flavor out of the tomatoes. But once you do that, we're ready to serve. So our pasta is ready to go at this point, and the first thing I'm going to do before I drain it is reserve some of that starchy pasta water. It will help bring the dish together and help the sauce bind to the pasta. This is liquid gold. You do not want to put it all down the drain. Now that this is simmered, we're ready to add our pasta. And whenever you make pasta at home, you're going to want to finish the pasta in the sauce like this and let it simmer together for just a couple of minutes. This gives the pasta the opportunity to really marry together with the sauce. Because I prescribe to a philosophy of more is more, we always finish our bowls of pasta with a good sprinkling of cheese, a good sprinkling of freshly chopped herbs, and if you want an extra little kick, some crushed red pepper. This is dinner. It took 30 minutes to throw together, and it makes your house smell like absolute heaven. So good. What I really love about this dish is how you first get that sweetness of the tomatoes, of the peppers, and then you get a nice lingering heat from that spicy Italian sausage. It tastes like it has simmered for hours and hours, but it took 30 minutes to throw together. That part you don't have to tell whoever you're serving this to. You can let them think that you were standing at the stove all day long stirring. This is one of our favorite weeknight dinners, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it just as much as we do. So that's our spicy Italian sausage and peppers pasta. I hope you make it soon. Share it with the people you love. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be just as obsessed with it as we are at my house. And be sure to like and subscribe for more easy yet flavor-filled weeknight recipes.